All right, welcome back. It's just about to turn 9:37. I know you're wondering at home, what am I wearing on my head? Well, it is Women in Construction Week, and of course we have a lovely group of ladies right here. All right, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand as I call your name out. We have Anna Warren, Catherine Chaplow, Kayla Slater, and Kate Holloway, all who have worked on the brand new SILVA event space and restaurant space downtown. All right, so we're gonna go right through here. What did you do? Let's go around the horn. What did you do for the project? Go ahead.
Sure, I'm with Rockford Construction, so I'm an assistant project manager on the team. So I've really been involved since the start of the project, getting contracts underway, doing a lot of cost control, logistics on site, and I'll be involved until we close the project out and
Wow, so
fully turn it over.
You've got it from start to finish. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
What about you?
So I am an interior designer. I have a firm here in town, Catherine Chaplow Interior Design, and there's a team of 8 of us, and we work on projects from inception to final installation. So we've been working on the project for about 2 years now, and are looking forward to seeing everything completed. And so we work really closely with the whole team from beginning to end.
That's pretty cool.
I'm Anna. I'm with First Cut Millwork. We worked with Catherine, and we designed all of the millwork, like the bar areas, and we started from the beginning and kind of came up with these ideas, and we put them into actual pieces.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
And you?
I'm a senior architectural designer at Integrated Architecture. So as with Catherine, we design together and manage the project as it goes through until everybody moves in.
Wow, so each of you have had kind of a unique part to play in all of this. I want to start with you because you've been there from start to end here. When you're putting something like this together, how do you even go about starting the project?
Yeah, so really it actually starts more with the design team, but
Okay.
With Rockford, what we start looking at right away is how do we keep this project in budget? Can it be built how our designers are asking us to build it? And then kind of trying to plan as best as we can for unforeseen conditions. So we're taking a super old building and trying to renovate it. There's always going to be things you find. So we
Right.
really have to plan ahead for that.
Okay, kind of like cushioning the budget just to make sure you can come out on above board on this?
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
that?
that's part of it, and just a lot of initial coordination. So this is kind of a design build project is what we'd call it, which is where you have a basis of design and then you involve trade contractors a little earlier, and we were very lucky to be able to utilize some local, really developed relationships on this project to work right alongside all of the women sitting here to really develop this.
I think what's really cool is, like, from talking to each of you, you guys both have a small part to play and it's like a puzzle, right? You're the puzzle pieces coming together. But there are different areas of construction, and I think we all think construction is just building the building, right? Like, that's not all that construction entails. Can we go around and kind of just say, like, what we're all, what people should keep in mind when we're thinking about construction, and what lessons we should be teaching women early on when it comes to getting into some of those fields that they don't even realize that they should be, looking into?
You want to go?
Go for it.
I personally, some of my best memories of working in construction, particularly on this project, are when challenges arise.
Yeah.
And I think what women bring to the table often is just like very easy collaborative spirit. We, for a very long time, have worked with large groups of men, my team and I, and so I'm very comfortable working with anyone on a project. But it's been particularly fun with SILVA to have so many women at the table. And so you just have this instant spirit of camaraderie. And I think if you show up prepared, if you show up competent and confident, that really whoever is in the room is going to be open to your contribution. So you just have to remember that being a professional, understanding what you're there to get done, and being collaborative is really at the heart of it, whether you're a man or a woman. And that's what gets the job done in the end. And on a big project like this, it's essential.
Having good communication, also
Yes.
showing up with a good attitude as well. Well, what about you? I mean, what is your favorite part about collaborating in this type of a space? Especially when it comes to what this week represents.
Well, I think it's really interesting. I mean, when people think about construction or design projects in general, you see the big picture and you walk into a space and you don't really know how it all comes together, but it's the nitty-gritty little details about how the bar edge meets the floor, or where the light fixtures are hung and things like that. And it's not always about the pretty things, it's what's behind. So I think there's some really cool details, and I think there's a lot of ways that you can do it. And just because somebody's not trained to do it doesn't mean that they don't have good instinct or, you know, really good things to bring to the table.
Or even they could be trained,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yep.
they could have the tools in the toolbox to be able to learn how to do something
Yeah.
like that. What would you say to women looking at this interview today and seeing 4 powerful women standing before us with this project that is getting ready to open to the public here? What would you say to those women?
I would say be confident and be creative. It's a lot of fun figuring out these spaces. It's a lot of fun working with other women in a male dominated field and seeing that we all have these great ideas. We can all bring them to the table and seeing this beautiful space come to life.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. You guys get to see the product come to life as it, you know, takes shape over the course of time. And it's got to be pretty rewarding once, you know, things are all said and done, right?
Yeah, of course. It's really amazing we start with an idea in an owner's head of
Yeah.
what he, in this case, wants. And these lovely ladies take it and have to make that come to life. And my job more as a project manager is to make sure that that's really buildable. And on this team, we've had a great balance of women to men. It's been incredible. I've never worked with so many women on another construction project. There's a sense of safety and respect. You know that all of the women in the room with you have had to work a little harder to get there. They've had to prove themselves in a sense a little bit more working in a male-dominated field. So it's just really incredible to see us all come together and have so many women involved.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about the interior design because I know that this is a process that comes probably well into the project. You know, you've got like basically the bones in there. You got to make it look really, really nice at this point. You know, how do you start early on with the project and then take what they've created and then take it to your end and, you know, design the space? How do you do that? How do you even go about thinking about what you want to put in there?
So it's, well, we start earlier than you might think.
Okay.
So I think it's a popular misconception that interior designers only arrive at the end of the project. So we start from the very beginning working with the architectural team on the very foundation of the project. So we're looking at space planning, we're looking at square footage, we're looking at electrical plans, we're looking at everything that is involved in the bones of the building as well. So if you have a strong interior design and architectural team working together, really we don't wait we don't wait to get involved because the decisions that you're making at the front end of the project are going to impact all of the little details at the end. You have to be thinking months and months ahead about how it's going to feel, how it's going to look, how the end user is moving through the space, and anticipate all of the layers that you do add physically later, but everything has to be considered up front. So, I mean, in working with Anna on millwork and the bar, we would bring her sketches and we would bring her concepts, and Anna would actually be the one who would put all of those ideas into a drawing that was very practical and that the shop could then use to build the actual bar. So there are lots of other more, I guess, like structural layers involved than I think a lot of people might think.
Yeah, I mean, it is a process that you probably have to stay very, very in tune to from the start to the finish. Let's go around the horn. How long have we all been in the business of construction?
Yeah, I did 4 years at Ferris, 2 years with another company. I've been with Rockford for almost 3 now, so
Okay.
quite a while.
I've owned my own firm for 19 years, but I've been in interior design for over 25.
Okay, perfect.
I've been in the millwork business for about 8 years.
Okay.
I've been in the construction industry for almost 30 years.
Yes,
Wow.
Kate.
I mean, see, we've got a lot of experience here on this couch. From when you started to how the business is now, and of course, I'm sure it's changed a lot for
Yeah.
both of you who have been in the business a little bit longer, but I'm sure it's changed for you guys in some aspects as
sure.
well. Let's go around the horn and talk about how it's changed from beginning when you started to now.
I think one of the biggest struggles we've seen in the past few years is cost increases and how to overcome that.
Oh.
With COVID and other economic issues going on, it has been a challenge. We've seen declines in constructions, then we've seen increases, even in the short time I've been in the industry. Just kind of working with owners on where can we save costs, what can we coordinate with our designers to kind of make this project happen.
I would say definitely we were just talking about this in the green room, that for Kate and I, it was very rare and
Yeah.
unusual to see a woman involved in a project, especially on site.
Yeah.
So it's been so fun to work with Kayla, who is a boss, such a boss, and to work with Anna, who just brings things to life from a very practical standpoint, and she understands how the shop runs, she understands how things are constructed, and of course to work with Kate. You know, it's such a pleasure to have so many women in the room, and that's a big change for me.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, just for me, when I started, there was one other woman working in the shop. I was the second, and now we have 4 women in the shop. I think we have about maybe 15 to 18 people in the shop. So, I mean, just that standpoint, women in the industry, it has grown in the 8 years I've been in it. So.
Which is spectacular to hear about,
Yeah.
from, you've just been in it for 8 years.
Yeah.
And imagine in another 8
Right.
what that's going to look like.
Right.
What about you?
Well, and even just recently, our interns and our job shadows have increasingly been female. So I think that's a good indicator that there's more women interested in construction and design and architecture in general. So.
Why do you think that they're more interested? Do you think it's because there's more education about what other jobs there could be in construction, or maybe we're learning skills earlier in our lives? Is that why?
I think part of it is with computer-aided design products that we've been using over time. We went from hand drafting to automated CAD things, and I think kids are getting a little taste of that at a younger age.
Yeah.
And so even my son, who will hop on and do Google SketchUp and make a 3D model of something, whether or not he actually uses it later, but it's accessible, I think.
What about representation in the field? Obviously, seeing a woman in this male-dominated field, that's got to also do something for some of the younger people in the crowd, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you see another woman in the field and it makes you feel more confident. Seeing somebody like you is able to do these hard jobs and able to do everything.
Yeah.
At Silva, there were women installing tile, there were women on the painting crews.
Yeah.
It's a huge project. It's between 40 and 50,000 square feet. So there were a lot of big teams, and just seeing women in every role
Yeah.
on the job was really fun.
That's pretty cool. What is the most rewarding part of your job, would you say?
I would say getting to see people experience the space. I mean, in a project like this and just hospitality, you can actually go and have a meal there, have a
You're
drink
gonna
there.
go and
You get
eat
to go
and have a drink
experience it.
right?
More corporate projects, you might not really get to do that, but in this instance, there's some really cool aspects of this space. There's an existing pool that we filled in that there's going to be bocce courts.
Oh, that's cool.
So trying to figure that out, and event space planning and the restaurant itself. There's a lot of different aspects to this, so a lot of moving parts. And in a 100-year-old plus building, you have to be able to pivot pretty quickly.
That's pretty cool. Well, guys, I really do appreciate, or I should say ladies. I say guys for everybody, but you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in here, and you guys should be all proud of your accomplishments, especially all the teamwork that takes to pull a project like that off. That's pretty cool. So thank you so much for coming in. And of course, this week is Women in Construction Week, and I guess thank a woman in your industry there. So there you go. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much for
having
coming
us.
in.
Thank you.
Thank you.